What is going on, guys? Bet Records back with your week 6 pick'em for the NFL contest coming up here. I got Justin with me to kind of review these and break down some of these contests here. We're going to start with the greatly anticipated Thursday night football game. Think kind of the NFL is just kind of throwing Amazon all these kind of weak games, and I don't know, because the last couple have been pretty lackluster. Nonetheless, let's get into this one. We got the 1-4 Washington Commanders at the 2-3 Chicago Bears this week. Chicago is minus 0.5 favorites, meaning they just have to win by 1 point. So not much for the spread here in this Thursday night football game. Justin, start this one off. What are your initial thoughts with this contest here?
I do believe the Bears at home will take this game. The Bears have kind of surprised a lot of people this year. A lot of people were predicting worst team in the league, but put up some really good fights, especially against the Vikings last week.
Yeah.
And I just believe against an easier competition against Washington, easy win for them.
Yeah, I think we just got to take them at home. The spread isn't really a point here. If you're going to pick a team, pick the team. I think this really could be a coin flip, but the Bears at home, let's just hope for some bad weather or something, and that'll secure the victory for the Bears at home. We saw it in week 1, I believe, against San Francisco. They're monsters in their element. If it's another slip and slide fest, they'll get the dub this Thursday night, of course.
Sure.
Moving on here, we got some a little bit more spread on this one. The first Sunday noon slate here game is the San Francisco 49ers, who are 3-2 at Atlanta, facing the 2-3 Falcons. San Francisco is favored with a minus 5.5, meaning they have to win by 6 points here. I do think they cover the spread. I think Jimmy G is going to, toss the ball all over this Falcons secondary. Their defense, has been very lackluster. I'll say probably worst 5, especially in the passing department. And Jeff Wilson kind of picked up some steam again last week in the running game. I think San Francisco definitely takes this one. What's your initial?
Yeah, I agree there. I just believe the 49ers are on a roll right now. After their big win over the Rams 2 weeks ago, it just shows that a lot of people have been doubting them now that Jimmy G's their quarterback and not Trey Lance. But if you ask me, they honestly look better now with Jimmy G at quarterback. And the Falcons, they've been okay this year. Again, same thing with the Bears. A lot of people doubted them too, but they have 2 wins on their record. So they've definitely been weathering the storm. I just believe San Francisco's offense is just too much for their defense. So I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Yeah, we always like to take the home team here. And just kind of like you mentioned, everyone said, oh, Jimmy G is now the quarterback. We thought Trey Lance was going to be the guy. Oh, everyone jump ship, go cheer for, someone else, whatever. People forget they almost they either made the playoffs in the first game and lost, or it was the play-in game where they lost. And they kind of prefaced that because I believe they lost to get the Rams. Was that correct? Last year?
They lost the NFC Championship to the Rams last year. And then before that, and then 2 years prior, as Jimmy G as their quarterback, they almost won the Super Bowl.
Right. So it's not like he hasn't been here and he hasn't done it, right? Trey Lance was a bigger question mark, I believe.
People need to stop hating on Jimmy G. Like, seriously.
Yep, he learned after the best.
Off.
Dude learned after the GOAT.
He did.
All
he got
of them.
Super Bowl rings in the process.
Yeah. I think they're just going to throw all over this Falcons defense. And, the 49ers defense, we didn't even mention. They're stupid solid, probably top 5 in the league, both in the rush and passing department. So I think they easily get that win here. Moving on to the next one. We'll have you start since it's your favorite team up, Justin. We got the 2-3 Patriots at the Cleveland Browns, who are also 2-3. Cleveland is minus 2.5 favorites, meaning they do have to win by a field goal. What are your initial thoughts? Because there's a lot of injury concerns with the quarterback position for the Patriots. Damian Harris is also down as well. What are your thoughts, Justin?
Yeah, Browns coming off 2 straight losses to the Chargers and the Atlanta Falcons, and the Patriots coming off their 2. They split the last 2, lost to the Green Bay Packers, and then beat the best offense in the league at the time, stat-wise, the Detroit Lions, and shut them out too.
Yep.
Nothing like that. Obviously, DeAndre Swift didn't play, The Patriots shut down the Lions from end to end. The defense looked incredible. New England's defense is a top 5, if you ask me. They got Judon, they got Hightower, and all these other guys in the secondary. You got the McCourties and all that. I just believe that the Browns, after a frustrating loss to the Chargers, and especially if Mac Jones is going to play this week against the Browns, I believe this should be an easy win for New England.
Is there a possibility he does play? I haven't heard. Yeah, there is. Okay.
There's a possibility. And even if he doesn't, Bailey Zappi even last week looked incredible. You know, he had an okay performance against Green Bay, threw a touchdown that technically shouldn't have, I shouldn't say technically, definitely shouldn't have counted. But then he showed out in the Lions game. And now there's been that question, oh, should we roll a Zappi? Should we roll a Jones? I'm taking the Patriots in this one.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you as well. You know, the Browns have a great defense. You know, Myles Garrett is going to be a big factor for either of these quarterbacks. I mean, Brian Hoyer, I don't think will be a factor unless someone gets injured way later on in the season, right? At this point, it's either Mac or, you know, Zappi at this point, and they're both younger guys. They're going to have a lot of pass rush on there, but I think Ramondre Stevenson is going to run all over this team. I know Myles Garrett's right up on front. Big dude. He's going to be a big factor to stop the Patriots this week. But, you know, Ramondre has been trying to break out. You know, Damian Harris was kind of holding him back. I love Damian Harris. I did like him truly, and I love the split backfield. But I think with him being the sole head of the horse in this backfield, I think that honestly gives their whole team an advantage as well. So that'll be something interesting to watch as the season progresses. And do we know how long Harris is going to be injured for? I know it's at least a couple weeks.
No announcement yet.
Yeah.
You still have Stevenson.
Yep.
Which New England has a really deep running core with those two. So you have those both on fantasy. Can't go wrong with either of them.
Yep. Nope, that's for sure. Moving on to the next noon game here, we got the 3-2 Jets. Surprisingly, another team. Oh, they're not going to be very good, right? They're sitting 3-2 right now. They just shut out. No, I shouldn't say shut out, but they blew out. They blew out the 3-0. Oh, Miami's going to win the Super Bowl with Tua team. I know there was injuries involved, right? But the Jets are doing just fine, and the Packers are 3-2 as well. Packers are minus 7.5 favorites, meaning they have to win by at least 8 points to cover the spread in this case. I'm going to go back to you to start. I'm kind of feeling Packers at home, forgetting the spread for a moment. Who do you think overall is truly going to take this victory here?
This is my upset of the week. I'm going to go with the Jets.
I like it.
Every single week when I predict, I always pick one massive upset. I think the Jets, after that win over the Dolphins, their confidence is high. Breece Hall, Corey Davis, Zach Wilson. I think they're going to march into Green Bay, and I think they're going to beat the Packers.
I'm going with you, especially for the 7.5 spread. The Packers have won some close games, and, you know, I mean, what they beat New England by field goal or 1 point, wasn't it?
A field goal in overtime, and they just lost to the Giants.
Right. So, in London, which is obviously a factor, but nonetheless, they're struggling. I mean, these rookie wide receivers are slowly, getting the hang of it, and they're starting to build the chemistry, right? They truly are. We have noticed that within the past couple of weeks. Week 1, there was no chemistry for that Packers offense, but their defense has not been looking as good as we've hoped so far. They've been letting up a ton of points. And I hate to say it, I think the Jets will squeak one out. I don't care if Packers are at home this week. Definitely against the spread, I'm taking the Jets. I'm going to take the Jets overall in another upset pick. I like it. Next coming up here, we got I don't know how I feel about this game. Kind of game here. We got the 2-3 Jacksonville Jaguars at Indianapolis, playing against the 2-1 Colts. The Colts, both these teams have been, cold. I'll say it's even opposite, right? The Colts were cold first 2-3 games. Been kind of picking up a little bit. Jaguars were hot first 3 games. They've been kind of cold the last couple as well. So we'll start with you on this one. Indianapolis Colts do have to win by a field goal to cover the spread here. What are your initial thoughts?
I believe that the Colts will pull this one out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on the Jaguars right now. Talks of like Trevor Lawrence being a bust, this and that, especially on the road against the Colts. I believe JT is going to be back in the mix this week. I know he hasn't really been producing that much, but against the Jaguars defense, that's been kind of, up and down. They have a good defense, but I just see the Colts winning this game against the Jaguars, especially since they're at home. So I'm going to pick Indianapolis in this one. I think Matt Ryan's going to have a good game against the Jaguars. And I believe the defense is going to shut down Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I like both teams because it's just like I mentioned before. We've seen them both hot and at their, I don't want to say peak, right? They have tons, they have the rest of the season to improve, but they've had some great offensive games. Jaguars had some good defensive moments against Philadelphia. Again, didn't pull out that victory a couple weeks ago, but nonetheless, I'm going to agree with you with the Colts. I think with Alex Pierce, who we saw a lot last week as well. He was on a lot of people's waiver wires, wide receiver there. Matt Ryan, he's building some chemistry there. I believe he's a rookie this season as well. JT.
Matt Ryan?
Alec.
Not a rookie.
No, not Matt Ryan. No. Alec Pierce, the number 2 the Colts. Never not Matt Ryan. But nonetheless, we're going to take the Colts in this one. I think they can win it by a field goal. I'll take that here. Lawrence just needs to figure something out. I don't know what it is, but they got to keep working at it. The home field team right here, we got the 4-1 Vikings versus the 3-2 Dolphins.
Vikings.
This will be interesting. I didn't think about this till right now. I believe we're set to play against Teddy Bridgewater in Miami.
Is he hurt or not?
He had the concussion last week, but I believe under all the drama of Miami, last that I checked, Teddy is set to play and start this week. I'm going to go double check that. While you check here and we listen to your initial thoughts of this matchup, do you think the Vikings can, take this on the road here?
Vikings are going to win this matchup, and I think it's going to be pretty easy. The Dolphins have looked awful in their last 2 weeks ever since the Tua thing. I don't know if it's just the quarterback or the distractions that's going around with them, but to get blown out by the Jets when you were supposed top 5 favorite to win the Super Bowl after week 3, and now you're on a 2-game losing streak, the hype is over now. So I believe the Vikings will take this pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree with you. The hype is definitely not there until Tua comes back. And even so, I mean, we saw Justin Herbert go down with an injury a couple weeks back, and, it took him a full week or two to kind of get over that and connect again. And, truly, I don't know, I don't want to say want to be on the field, but truly get back into that vibe and that zone as a quarterback should. Looking at Teddy Bridgewater, they already announced actually Skyler Thompson, the 3rd string quarterback, will start. I believe that's who they had to start last week as well. I believe, wasn't he a 5th or 6th round rookie? Don't quote me on that one. I believe he's a rookie as well, because a lot of these teams, will just grab a quarterback in the draft in the late round, much like the Patriots as well, put them on a real low salary because they're a last couple round pick, and if need be, here they are, right? So definitely I'm taking Minnesota. Excuse me. I don't even think we really have to debate this one anymore. I think that, quarterback blow is massive. I'm hoping the Vikings defense, keeps at it. We've had some shaky plays. We've had some shaky drives on defense, letting a lot of stuff go. We've had a lot of great ones as well. Close out the game last week with a great interception, pulling of the ball, whatever you kind of want to call that. Let's take Minnesota on this one. Move on to the next match. SKOL. Next matchup here on the noon slate: Bengals at Cincinnati, or good Lord, Cincinnati Bengals at New Orleans Saints. Both teams are 2-3. Cincinnati are 1.5 favorites, meaning they have to win by 2 points. God, I hate to send it back to you again, but I'm leaning the Saints at home because I hate this, line of the Bengals and Joe Burrow. What are your thoughts, though?
I got to go Bengals with this one. They haven't had the best season even after losing the Super Bowl, but at the same time, the offense is still producing. In their last game, who did they play in their last game? They lost to the Ravens.
Yes.
They still put up a really good game. It was a good fight. Obviously, the issue is the offensive line, but yet still putting up great points. The Saints have been kind of like ping-ponging in between a good team and a mediocre team.
Yeah.
And that showed last week against the Panthers. They allowed like almost 30 points against the Panthers and still were able to squeak out a win. I have to go with the Bengals on this one. I just believe Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow are going to have a great week against the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. This is going to be the first one we're splitting on. I will take the Saints for 3 reasons. You guys in the comments below, I'm going to pick the Bengals for the sake of the video. You guys in the comments below, let us know your pick for this noon slate to be our tiebreaker in this one. You got Cincinnati and Joey Ice, or you got Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara. My reasoning is the Saints defense is better. Yes, the Bengals win the Super Bowl. The defense is fine. I think their defense is better. Who's their
But no, that was my question. Joey Ice. I've never heard that one before.
Joey Ice, come on, dude. Come on.
That's Matt Ryan's nickname, Matty Ice. Now you're saying it's Joe?
It's Joey Ice, dude. Joe Swag, bro. You don't even know. I guess you don't even know. Nonetheless, I think just truly this defense is going to give them a hell of a time. I can't remember why the defender, the cornerback is blanking my mind. But whoever has been, kind of covering Mike Evans and all these guys, who was the guy that fought with Mike Evans?
Lattimore.
Yes, Lattimore, Marshawn Lattimore. He's going to be a major factor in this one. And I think, Kamara should have a field day. Again, not very confident.
Should be a good game. I will say that.
It'll be a good game nonetheless. Let us know in the comments below who you're taking. You already know our picks here. Decide the split decision for us in this one. Rolling right along here. We got 3-2 Ravens at the 4-1 Giants. Giants, another team. A lot of people weren't, very confident in. The Ravens are favored in this one to win by 5.5 points, meaning they got to get 2 field goals to win by 6 or win by a touchdown. Of course, this is in New York. We saw them beat the Packers, which isn't saying a lot, right? The Ravens got Lamar Jackson. I have to give this one to Baltimore. I don't think they win by the spread. I love how the Giants are looking. They're making upsets left and right. That's why they're 4-1. And I don't think they're winning the division, but they're obviously pretty damn close. There aren't a lot of 4-1 teams right now, and they're one of the only ones up there. I still will take the Ravens. Lamar Jackson is just a beast. I'm going to give it to him in this one. What are your thoughts?
I definitely agree with you on there. I just think the Ravens offense is just too explosive for the Giants. I think this is a rematch of the Super Bowl back in 2000 where the Ravens blew out the Giants. I know that was 22 years ago. I just want to bring that up. Just a little history lesson. And obviously you guys know I'm a Patriots fan. So if you bring up 2 wins over Tom Brady, shut the fuck up. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens here. I just think the offense is too explosive. Saquon Barkley's having an incredible career.
Yes.
Daniel Jones is looking good too. He's going to play, right? I know he was hurt.
Yep. Everything I've read should be playing. He just tweaked something, and I don't even remember. I believe it was his ankle is what it was. But nonetheless, even Saquon went down with an injury at right shoulder. He's already back to limited practices. He's set to play on Sunday. So definitely must start for fantasy purposes.
I'm gonna say the Ravens win, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be by a field goal. I think this is gonna be the game of the day right here. The Giants are extremely underrated. I do believe they have shocked a lot of people. The offense looks great. Saquon is, silencing the doubters, saying, "Oh, he's gonna get hurt in week 1."
Yep.
This and that. No, Saquon looks great, and I believe that it's going to be a very close game, and I think it's going to come down to the last minutes of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I certainly agree. We just see Lamar struggle in the second half of football games. We're gonna hope, for the sake of our pick here today, that does not happen in this matchup here. Next up, I think we can blow right through this. We got a 3-2 Tampa Bay Bucs at the 1-4 Steelers. They got the quarterback concerns. Najee Harris hasn't been on top of his game. What do you think about the spread? Do you think Tampa Bay wins by 9 points?
Oh yeah, easily. Ever since TJ Watt went down with the injury, the Steelers have gone from like a meh team to an awful team.
Yep.
It was I think TJ Watt went down in week 1, and then some people were picking them to beat the Patriots, and the Patriots ended up beating them. And just ever since then, the Steelers, they got fucking butt fucked by the Bills last week. It was awful. And I feel bad for Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
Because I like Kenny Pickett. I really do. But only scoring 3 points against the Bills, like you should at least have gotten a touchdown, maybe make it more respectable. But against Tampa, I just believe that the Steelers are going to get killed in this game.
Yeah. I can't remember what Mike Tomlin said last week, but
Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season as a coach for the Steelers.
Really?
Or no, I shouldn't even say, because that's the only team he's coached.
Right.
He's never had a losing season,
Ever.
period.
Yeah. And
it's starting to look that way.
Yeah, and maybe they can turn it around, but and I don't know what their schedule is. Maybe it gets easier. I don't see it happening. I believe Mike Tomlin literally said we got slapped, and there's nothing else to say about that, or smacked. One of the two. It was, what are your thoughts about the game, right? We scored 3 points. What do you think my thoughts are of the game, right? So we'll take Tampa Bay there. I think they definitely win by a touchdown and a field goal as well to cover the spread there. Moving on to some 3 o'clock games here. We got the 1-4 Panthers at the 2-3 Rams. Panthers coach got fired. Hot news here. What is it? Matt Rule, I believe, was the coach, fired. Panthers are 1-4. Upper management obviously not happy with that performance. Baker Mayfield is not the answer. I'm still telling you it. I'm preaching it until the freaking sun comes down. I don't even know if he's starting this week, to be honest. There's that many question marks at this point. I'm taking the Rams. -10.5 is monstrous. That means they have to win by 11. I'm gonna just say that they do it. I don't know. Their defense is solid. The offense for the Rams has been a little iffy. The line's been the line and Stafford have been the real big issues here. Cooper Kupp is still awesome. The running backs and Cam Akers is not what we thought. We got CMC on the other side of the ball. I get it, but against a good Rams defense, this is the Rams overall. They're gonna.
The only thing that makes this matchup interesting is I know history has shown that as soon as a coach gets fired and then the interim head coach comes in, they usually win that game, the first game they have a new coach.
Really? Okay.
So I'm really hesitant to pick the Rams because of that history. It's tough because, obviously you have a brand new head coach. They're probably going to get blown up, but history has shown brand new interim coaches always win their first game. So
has history shown a coach that's gotten fired the week before they played the reigning Super Bowl champs?
What was that, one more time?
Is there anything in history, though? Because I don't doubt that stat, but is there anything against facing the previously winning Super Bowl champs in a regular week?
I don't know, when the reigning Super Bowl champs are under 500.
I know, and that's fair too. I mean, the Rams have
lost to the Cowboys.
True. This is a weird season to say the least. I mean, we keep going back.
Yeah. This is the weirdest season I've seen in if not the weirdest I've seen ever.
It has to be, because most of these teams are 3-2 and 2-3.
I'm still gonna roll with the Rams on this. But
right.
At the same time, I feel like it's going to be a lot closer for some reason.
If the Panthers win, I'm going to bring you a beer or something. I don't know.
You owe me a whole case if that's it.
No. Hey, I'm not money bags.
Give me a bottle of Everclear.
We'll do something. I'll get you out something. If that really happens, I'll get you something. Moving on here, we got the Cardinals at Seattle facing the Seahawks. Both teams are 2-3. I like Geno, especially at home. I like him. Kenneth Walker's good. I'm sorry about Rashad Penny on your fantasy team, Justin. But nonetheless, this is who I'm picking. What are your thoughts?
I'm going with the Cardinals here.
Okay.
Isn't D-Hop back this week?
Nope. 6-week suspension. Week 7.
So after this week.
Yep. One more week.
I still feel like the Cardinals are going to win this game. I just believe now that Rashad Penny's out of the mix, the running game has kind of gone from here down to there. So I have to go with Arizona here.
I don't hate it. I just am on the Geno train. I don't know what it is, but it was kind of all right. Geno's going to be the starter and we're going to manage the heck out of him, right? That was like first 3 weeks. They're like, all right, we're telling you everything to do, everything. Use this audible, whatever. Last couple of weeks, he's been more flexible and he's been, proving that he can do it. They're kind of putting him in a I hate to compare anyone to the GOAT, right? But he's kind of in a Tom Brady role now where it's, hey, this is your offense. You tell your guys where you think is going to be best. You act on it. You do what you got to do, kind of thing, to lead this offense and be the true leader. I think this is going to be a great story to continue to watch. Geno Smith has sat on the bench behind Russell for years and years and years.
And Sam Darnold and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Right. And at the same time, Geno, once Russ got traded away, he's like, no, this is my job. I know Drew Lock's here, and I think the coaching staff truly was planning to start Drew Lock, and he was going to be the guy for the whole season. But
yeah, no doubt.
Geno's proven.
Carroll was definitely going with Drew Lock, but then for some reason he was like, yeah, let's throw Geno in.
Yeah.
Against the Broncos, and he was like, they ended up winning that game. He's like, holy shit.
Yep.
I'm gonna stick with this guy.
Yeah. So and maybe it's because the chemistry's there because he's been around the club longer. He knows
more experience.
And right, who knows? Nonetheless, that's my pick. I know you got the Cardinals. Another one, if you want to let us in the comments know who you got, you can certainly do that. We got two great matchups here. We got the Sunday night football game, which is going to be awesome, and this later end game at the 3:30 slate on Sunday here. Let's start with the Bills and the Chiefs. Both teams 4-1. Buffalo's favorited by a field goal at Kansas City. We saw Kansas City really struggle against Vegas last week, and Vegas doesn't have a great defense. I won't say they have a great offense. Is their offense above average? Definitely, no doubt about that. But I'm going to take the Bills. They're solid. I think they're a better team on both sides of the ball. Buffalo defense is nothing to bat an eye about. Kansas City defense has always been a little bit lackluster, and Mahomes has been the one to power him through and get the wins. I'm taking Buffalo. I'll take them by 3 points as well. What are your thoughts?
I believe this is going to be a really high scoring game.
Yeah.
It might be the game a couple of years ago with the Rams and the Chiefs, where it was like each team scored 50 something points. My thing is when the lights come out and everything's there, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going Chiefs here. But this game right here, like I said at the first couple games, this one's a coin flip.
Yep.
It really is. You have number one and the number two quarterback in the league. You can argue who's number one and who's number two.
Yep.
This is a coin flip matchup. But then you're at KC, the loudest crowd in the NFL.
Arrowhead.
That's going to play a difference. If it was in Buffalo, I'd probably lean towards Buffalo. But on their home turf in KC, Missouri, yeah, for those of you who don't know, Kansas City is in Missouri. So I'm going with the Chiefs here. This is going to be a shootout. I don't think defense is going to be a factor here.
All right. Love it. Love both the takes. Final game here for the Sunday night slate. We got the 4-1 Cowboys against the 5-0 Eagles. What are your thoughts with this one, Justin?
After the week ended last week, I'm so impressed with the Cowboys. Cooper Rush, man, everybody was criticizing him when Dak went down, like, oh, he's not the guy. Like, oh, this is going to be awful. He is undefeated ever since then. The Cowboys have never looked better.
Yeah, they haven't.
Sitting there, and he's like, man, this kid is doing better than me right now. I'm picking an upset here. I think the Cowboys are going to walk into Philadelphia, and I think they're going to cream the Eagles.
No way.
For their first loss of the year.
No way. I'm going to.
What? Do you think Philadelphia is going to go undefeated this year? That's only happened once. They're going to lose eventually.
You make a good point. And here's two things. I'm trying to double check because Dak wants to play. Just kind of like you talked about, Cooper Rush has been doing awesome. And I think Dak kind of wants to take his name back a little bit. He'll definitely be back for week 7. It's kind of a 50-50 shot if Dak does come back this week. With the undefeated talk, I think you're right. This would be the team probably to beat the Eagles just because they are so good defensively. However, the Eagles, Jalen Hurts at home, even I just can't get over it. I mean, we love to watch him. He's definitely in some higher talks for the quarterback position as well. Not even just fantasy, but just overall. I mean, this guy's going to be great to watch. years to come, of course.
I agree. But
Um,
I just have a gut feeling this is the week where the O gets taken.
damn.
I
All
feel
right.
like the Cowboys are going to walk into Philadelphia and just tell all those fans, we're for real, with or without Dak.
All right.
And I believe this is going to be Cooper Rush's game of his life.
All right. Well, we're gonna take it. I almost feel bad for Cooper Rush because even if he wins this game,
You have to remember too. You have to remember too. This is a division rivalry. No matter how bad the team is or how good the team is in any division, it's always going to be a good game.
True. Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I feel bad for Rush because even if he wins this one and beats the undefeated team, he's still not going to probably play next week, unfortunately.
How do you know that though?
That's
How
fair.
do you know that? Undefeated ever since the start of the season.
It's just the salary.
There's been questions about Dak lately and his productivity. There's a lot of people who are Dak haters now. Like, Dak's not a horrible quarterback, but you have your backup coming after you're injured and he's lighting it up and he's undefeated in his career. It's almost like a Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe kind of thing. Drew Bledsoe was a great quarterback, and then Tom Brady stepped up, ended up taking them to the Super Bowl and winning it, and then became the greatest Patriots quarterback of all time and the greatest NFL quarterback of all time.
There you go. That'll be definitely interesting to see what happens because, I mean, maybe Dak comes back for 2 weeks and they lose. I agree with you. Then they might as well flip it back and Cooper Rush is back at it, right? So, yeah, we'll definitely have to see, of course, the result of this game.
If Cooper Rush goes out there and drops 4 touchdowns and throws over 300 yards and they start Dak the next week, that's a slap in the face to him. He kept you afloat in the weeks after Dak got hurt. Basically, every single sports journalist was saying, oh, the Cowboys are going to lose until Dak comes back. And then Cooper comes in and wins every single game. Cooper needs to start if he has the game of his life.
There we go. There we go. Hot take. It's going to be hard to do against this Eagles team in general, but I'm here for it. I agree with you. This should be an exciting game. Nonetheless, we'll take Dallas for this, for the sake of the video here and the sake of time. Moving on to the final matchup, we got a Monday night snoozer. I don't know. I think this is the Chargers. We don't even have to really go far deep.
Just hearing last week, Russell Wilson getting booed incredibly this last couple games. I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson. He's definitely not hurt. I don't know if he has any confidence issues or anything like that, but he's definitely not living up to what everyone was predicting. Oh, the Broncos are going to be the ones that take this division. In the 2 wins they've won, but just at the same time, they're getting when you're getting booed by your own stadium, that's horrible. That is horrible.
Yeah, and half of the crowd leaves it when it goes to overtime.
Yeah.
And then you lose still in overtime and no touchdown. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the deal is either. I mean, I get Javonte Williams is now injured. But
he wasn't doing anything.
Right. He wasn't making the team worse. I don't get it. Russ is missing wide open passes. We saw it in the loss. He had the wide open 4th and 1. Missed KJ Hamler. Hamler's upset. I don't doubt the rest of the team is upset, let alone the coaching staff and everyone else that made that trade happen, right? It's Russ for 6 picks and 2 other guys, right? And they're getting nothing out of it. Seattle looks like the clear winner in that trade so far this season by a mile, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and it's crazy because everyone was writing off the Seahawks at the beginning of the season saying they're going to be horrible. And the Broncos, their record 2-3 doesn't even, you can look at that. It does not tell the story of those 2 wins and those 3 losses. The offense is not explosive. It doesn't look great. They're getting booed by their own fans. It's just sad to see.
Yeah, this is Broncos are a tough team to watch. The Chargers, we love.
They have a good defense. I'll give them that.
They do.
But at the same time, your defense can only make so many plays so many times.
Yep. They do have, I believe, one of the top pass defenses in the league. And really what's helping them keep a lot of these games alive. It'll be interesting to see what Justin Herbert, does. But with, their weapons on offense, I don't think Allen will be back. He might be. We still got Mike Williams. We got Palmer out there. They got a lot of young studs. We got Austin Eckler out there. I think this is Chargers easily. I think they beat this well. Well, that is
Broncos country.
Broncos country.
No. Wait. Bet records. Let's ride. Thanks for tuning in as always. Let us know about those tiebreakers and who you got winning in those matchups. Thanks, Justin, for joining me as always. We'll catch you guys. No problem, my brother.
Peace out.
Deuces.